I'm Captain Henry Marks from Landfall Navigation, a marine safety and navigation chandlery in Stamford, Connecticut. We specialize in marine safety and navigation only. Today we're going to talk about the care and maintenance of your inflatable life vests. Now, for those of you that aren't real familiar with these, they come four ways. So you have a manual or automatically inflated, and you have with or without a safety harness. Now, for those of you sailing, especially offshore, Mustang also makes an automatic unit, and what this one has, you'll see, is just two cartridges. Here's a CO2 cartridge, and this is the water activator, which I'll show you in a few minutes in more detail. When you fall in the water with this jacket, if you're unconscious, it automatically inflates in about 2 to 3 seconds, and you are alive and well, so to speak. This jacket also comes with D-rings, these stainless steel rings up here, which if you've got which you can tether yourself to the boat. Now, this is a Mustang. SOS Suspenders make them. A company named Revere makes them. They're all Coast Guard approved. They all will turn an unconscious person face up in the water. Now, because I'm not going to fall in the water here, I'm going to pull this handle, and there I am, I'm inflated. You may notice that something fell out. Well, I have an ACR strobe light tied in my vest. I hold it over my head, and now I'm floating in the water, and you can come find me. This is the double fly, which is the top of the line. And what this does is when I cycle the switch, it gives me an incandescent light. The reason for this is when you're far away, the strobe light is all that the rescue vessel is going to see. But when you get close, the strobe light gets very distracting for the crew of the rescue vessel, and they have trouble estimating range and bearing on you, and you want to switch to the incandescent light. Now, every spring or whenever your boating season starts, you must take your life jackets out. You must blow them up hard. You have an oral inflation tube here. You don't have to spend $20 for a CO2 cartridge. Blow it up here hard. Leave it on the kitchen table overnight and see if it's still hard in the morning. If it is not hard in the morning, bring it back to wherever you bought it and discuss it with them, because if it won't hold air, it won't hold you up. Your Coast Guard approved inflatable life vests, the Mustangs, the Suspenders, I believe the Revere, all have 35 pounds or better flotation in them when they're fully inflated. That is the equivalent of the Solus Type 1 bulky horse collar PFD. Now it's time to rearm it. First thing I do is I take the CO2 cartridge, push it in, and twist it to the left and pull it out. You will notice that the plastic ring on these newer models is now broken. Be very careful when you stow your rearm kits that plastic ring doesn't get damaged, because if it gets broken, you cannot repack it. It won't work in the unit. Now, I put this back in here and turn it to the right. Now, when I do this, you'll notice right now there's a red indicator showing that this unit is not in service. When I push this CO2 cartridge in, and turn it, now it's gone green. This means the jacket is ready to operate again. However, if you want it to operate in the automatic mode, you have to take this other tube and unscrew it. Because you'll see the bobbin. This bobbin, if it had been in the water, would have been empty. You put a new bobbin on it, put it back in here, and then screw it up. But be sure to screw it all the way in, because what I'm doing as I screw this down is tightening up the spring that's going to fire the CO2. And if I only screw it halfway down, it may not be strong enough to actually fire But it's important that every spring or every beginning of your boating season that you go through this drill. Also, check the batteries in your personal strobe light, because if those are dead, that isn't going to work either. Reviewing the cartridges. These 38-gram cartridges are for the SOS Suspender or West Marine inflatable life jackets, manual or automatic. These cartridges, 33 grams, are the Mustang cartridges. This is the older style and the newer style. This unit is the new hydrostatic release unit, and it's got a 33-gram cartridge with the hydrostatic release in it. This is a throwaway when you either go over the side or when you change it out after 5 years. When you go to purchase your rearm kits, this is what the Mustang automatic rearm kit looks like for the old style jackets. You've got the CO2 cartridge and the bobbin. If you have a manual, all you have to buy is the CO2 cartridge. And the bobbins cost $5, which is not an unreasonable amount to spend every year to keep yourself afloat if you fall overboard.
Is there anything to check on the CO2 cartridge itself, yearly to look for corrosion?
If they start to become pitted or corroded, I would change them more, because I'm worried about what the corrosion will do to the life vest fabric than anything else. I mean, if you think about the CO2 cartridges, they're bulletproof. 5, 10 years, maybe you want to replace them but especially if they start getting corroded. But I don't worry about changing the CO2 cartridges on a regular basis. What you want to do is unscrew them and make sure there isn't a hole in the end of it, because if there's a hole in the end of the cartridge, that means somebody's used the vest. And you should always carry a spare rearm kit, because remember, if you fall overboard, your vest is going to work. It's going to inflate, it's going to save you, to fish you back up and continue the sail. But unless you have a rearm kit, you can't repack the life jacket, and it will not work a second time. Also, if everybody else on the boat has suspenders and you have a Mustang, their rearm kits will not fit your life jacket, or vice versa.